is 1 hour after.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes, I can sleep a little.
See, and you can appreciate the weekend and recover from the weekend.
Yeah.
But I know that Mondays are very difficult for a lot of people, so because it's like, oh, recover, But anyway, yeah. So so this class is called the Career Ladder, and it will be about. Let's see. We'll go over a lot of different words and phrases used um, in companies and more or less business English, but of course it will always work with general English as well. So, all right. Hello again, Sergio,
Hello again, nice to see you.
and hello again, David. So,
Hello.
Adela was saying she has a late start tomorrow. Do the rest of you guys have a late start tomorrow? Or do you have to,
What tomorrow? Sorry.
do you have a late start tomorrow, or do you have to be at work at 7 or 8?
I have to work at 8 o'clock.
8, okay, yeah. And what time is it Sergio, what time is it in Brazil right now?
Right now it is 8 o'clock p.m.
8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Okay, so it's like a 5-hour difference
Hi.
between Idaho and Brazil. So, hello, Roberto, how are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine, thanks.
Excellent. So where are you from, Roberto?
I'm from Brazil
Mm-hmm.
too, but I'm living in London now.
Oh, you're in London, okay. And so how many hours
Yes.
difference is it between London and Brazil?
I think the main difference is the weather. Here
No,
is too cold.
I mean how many hours difference?
Sorry. Now it's 2 hours because of the summer hour.
Mm-hmm.
But
The daylight savings.
normally it's 4 hours.
Okay, okay. So 2 hours, yeah, because it's interesting. Brazil to me doesn't seem like it should be so much closer to Europe, but it really is. So it's amazing. So,
Yeah.
hello, Jose. How are you today?
Hello, Holly. Fine. Thanks for asking. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. Have you had a good weekend?
Yes, it was a normal weekend. Nothing
Okay.
special.
I think I last saw you when your weekend was starting, and now your weekend is ending, and I see you again.
Yes.
So I think that's the same for you, David, and possibly for you, Adela, too, except you were both in my previous class as well. So, all right. Let me show you the material. Hello, Julio. Welcome. Let's see. Bear with me a moment. Hello, Julio. Can you speak?
Hello, Holly.
Hi. I don't normally see you at this time, but of course I don't always teach in the afternoon, so my afternoon. So anyway, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right, so it looks like we are. I think you are all Spanish speakers, aren't you? No, Brazil. I'm sorry. Brazil is Portuguese. I apologize. So, everyone, we have Adela here is from Spain, David from Spain, Jose from Spain, Julio is from Mexico, Roberto is from Brazil, and Sergio is from Brazil. And then, of course, my name is Holly, and I am from Idaho in the United States. So today's topic is on the career ladder, climbing the career ladder, and we're going to systematically go through some vocabulary related to climbing the career ladder and just systematically talk about different vocabulary words and move on to a discussion and different talking points. So First thing we want to go through is some vocabulary words, and somebody else just came in. Hello, Greg, again. Everyone, Greg is from Poland, so I think, yeah, I think almost everybody y'all know each other from other classes. So, okay, let's start this. In pairs, well, actually, as a group, because we can't do pairs in this situation, let's put the following job titles in the correct category below. Which of the titles are usually only used in U.S. companies? So I decided to be a little bit lazy about this. Instead of writing down the job categories, I'm going to put the initials for top management, middle management, back office staff, and front line staff next to the word, make it much easier. So, all right. So Adela, can you choose one of these words and tell us whether it's top management, middle management, back office staff, or frontline staff?
Okay, Vice President, PP, top manager.
Okay, yes, a vice president would definitely be a top manager. Okay, and David, can you choose one?
Yes, Chief Executive Officer, CEO, is top management.
Yes. And the CEO is mostly used in American English. Does anybody know what the word is that people use in British English for Chief Executive Officer?
I don't know, director.
Very close, yes. Managing director. So, and that is in British English. And American English, we don't ever use managing director. CEO is used probably both in British and American English, though.
Yes, they actually, I noticed that there's one British company that I read article, and this person actually was presented as CEO, not really managing director or something like that. So maybe it's
So maybe it's a trend, maybe to change it. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Greg, could you choose one?
Let me think. Sales manager. I don't know, frontline staff.
No, not frontline staff, because he's a manager.
Sorry, sales manager. Top management.
Actually, he would be middle management.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just because he still has people that he reports to, so because of that, he would be considered middle management. So, bear with me a moment. Okay, and Greg, can you choose one?
Chairman.
Not Greg. I'm sorry. You've already asked you. I apologize. Jose. Can you choose a word?
Yes, director, top management.
Which word? HR director?
Director, yes, HR director.
HR director. Okay,
HR
and that
director.
would be, yes, that is top management.
Yes.
Some people, though, in past classes have questioned that, but I think in most organizations it definitely is a top manager. So, Julio, can you choose one?
Sales representative. That will be frontline staff.
Frontline staff, perfect. And Roberto.
Chief Financial Officer is top management.
Okay. Why do I have TP? Okay, and Sergio.
Consultant. frontline staff.
Consultant is is kind of a one for debate. Does everybody believe that a consultant would be frontline staff? What do you guys think?
Things like back office stuff, because he's not like really part of the company.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on who he's consulting, because he also could be consulting middle management or top management, so he'd maybe be up in that area as well. So it does frontline staff for some consultants, definitely back office staff for others, depending on what his role and what he or she is actually doing. So. All right. So Aldela, can you choose another one?
Junior accountant, frontline staff.
Okay, an accountant would not be a frontline staff.
Sorry, back office staff.
Yeah,
Yes.
back office staff, because he does
He's
not
the
actually see
administrative.
customers.
Yes.
All right, David.
Marketing manager, middle management.
Yes. Okay, and Greg.
System administrator, I think frontline staff.
I believe it's back office staff. The reason is because he doesn't actually see customers.
Right.
But do some system administrators see customers? Possibly, maybe, but I think mostly not. So, all right, Julio. Sorry, Jose first. Jose, are you there?
Yes. Plant manager. Middle management.
Perfect. Middle management. Okay. And Julio.
Chairman. I think it's top management.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And Roberto.
HR specialist. It's back office staff.
Yes. And Sergio.
Head of marketing, top management.
Yeah, I think it might be middle management. So, no, it's top management. You're right. Okay, and then we have one left. What would customer relations specialist be?
FLS.
Anyone? FLS, yes. Frontline staff. Okay, so when you think about your job, Adela, where would you be? Would you be frontline staff, back office staff, middle management, or top management?
I think middle management. I'm head of department.
Okay, so since you are department head, you would be middle management. Perfect. David, where are you?
I think I am in top management.
Top management. Okay, awesome. All right, and Greg, where are you at?
Right now, nowhere actually.
Oh, okay. So that's totally fine. So, and Jose, where are you Where are you in your organizational structure?
Sorry, Holly?
What are you at frontline staff, back office staff, middle management, or top management in your job?
In my job, frontline.
You're a teacher, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a teacher would be frontline staff.
Frontline staff, okay. Frontline staff.
Yeah. So, Julio, how about you?
Same here, frontline staff.
Frontline staff. And Roberto?
I mean, back office staff.
You're back office, okay. And Sergio, where are you at?
Middle management.
Middle management, awesome. Okay, and I am in frontline staff here at Verbling, obviously, and with another organization that I'm part of. I'm with middle management with some projects that I'm doing. So, all right. So let's go on. Let's put the following sentences about Mark's career into the correct order. So let's go through and read these sentences, and then we will put them in order, just to practice pronunciation. Adela, could you read the first sentence?
After a successful interview at Chemotech PLC, he was hired for the position.
So, after a successful interview.
Successful.
At Chemotech.
Chemotech.
Yeah. Okay, and David, could you read the next one?
After graduating from university, Mark decided to apply for a job as a junior engineer.
Yes, so after graduating. Yeah, okay, next. Greg, could you read the next one?
Yes. After nearly 20 years of running his own business, Mark decided to retire early.
Okay. Jose.
Yes. Chemotech ran into financial difficulties during the economic crisis, and Mark was laid off.
Okay, so financial.
Financial.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, Julio.
Due to his extensive experience, he quickly got hired by another company as a chief engineer.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Roberto.
He decided to become self-employed and he started his own business as a consultant.
Okay, and Sergio.
Mark felt he needed a change in his life, so he decided to hand in his notice and start a new career.
Okay, so he decided.
He decided
to hand in his notice, okay? And finally, Mark worked diligently for several years and eventually got promoted to the position of senior engineer. Okay, so so number one, he said after graduating from university, Mark decided to apply for a job as a junior engineer. What happened next?
Mark worked diligently for several years.
No. After a successful interview at Chemotech, yes. No?
After a successful interview, yes. So that one would be next. And then number three, then that would be Mark worked diligently. Okay, number four.
Chemotech ran.
Okay, Chemotech ran into financial difficulties and he was laid off. Okay, number five.
Due to his extensive experience.
No.
Yes.
Got hired.
Yeah,
Yes.
he got hired by another company, so he got laid off, then he got hired. And then after that,
Mark felt he needed a change in his life, so he decided to hand in his notice and start his career. Yeah.
Mark felt he needed, yes.
Yeah, and then number seven.
He decided to become self-employed.
Okay, so he became self-employed, and then finally he retired.
He retired.
Yes. All right. Is this, what do you guys think? Is this really typical of many people? They work for the company and then for a company, and then they get laid off. They work for another company, and then they start their own business. Have you guys seen this in people's lives?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What I thought might be interesting, if you guys want to do this, is if you guys want to tell us about your career path. If this would be something you'd be interested in doing. If you don't want to, if you're if you think that's too personal, just tell me. But does anyone want to start?
Me, for example.
Okay. All right, David.
I started to work in my current company 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was during my last year at university, and I started to work. I had a weekend job,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think to stay in this work many years, but the time was going on, and sorry, I hear a noise,
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to mute it. Okay.
and I had several opportunities to grow up in my job, and now I am here. And I remember in my interview for this job, my current job boss asked me about my plans and for the future, and I remember I told him that I don't know what I am doing to do, but I know what I'm not going to do, and I am not going to stay here for a long time.
And you, and 20 years later.
I was wrong.
Yeah, 20 years later. Okay, let's get some language feedback for that. There's one a phrase that you use, David, that is very, very typically used wrong, and that is the word "to grow up." In English, the only time you use this phrase this phrasal verb to grow up is when children grow. The children grow up.
Okay.
From to grow up to adulthood. So that would be the only time. Any other time we would actually use grow. So I grew in my position, and then I was promoted, you could say I was gradually promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Promoted and until I am where I am. So okay. All right. Does anybody else want to share your career path?
Sure, I can do it very quickly.
Okay.
After graduating college, I went to law school. I got hired by an important financial institution as a part of the collection department. But due to the volatile market, I got laid off a couple of times. And I worked for another institution. I got laid off again. Then I applied for a job as a teacher in a university, and I've been teaching since then.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. And yeah, so you went through this process of getting laid off and so forth, and then you finally found the university. Excellent. So anybody else want to share your career path?
I will start.
Okay. First of all, Jose. Jose.
Yes.
Not Jose. The new person who just joined. Can you please mute? Please mute. Okay. Thank you, Jose. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Adela, can you share your
Okay.
career path?
Yes, I start to work when I finished secondary school in a hospital as an auxiliary nurse. During I was studying my degree in biology, and when I finished, I applied for a teacher job in a vocational training school, and I work as a teacher in this moment, and I have had different responsibility on the school, the top management, middle management, is depend because when in a school we decide between us to have a, a, um, a responsibility or no for each 4 years. Each change. 4 years we change the to don't burning.
So for you changed to what?
We change the director,
Okay.
the principal, or the head of,
So
etc.
yeah, so you had after 4 years you had a leadership change.
Yes, because sometimes people like this responsibility, but the other no, is not take then. But we change, yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. All right. Anyone else want to share your career path?
Me, for example, funny.
Okay.
I studied mechanical engineering. After that, when I finished my degree, I prepared the exam. I passed this exam, and after that, I worked in teach. I worked for teacher. Okay.
Yes, and so you've been working for this as a teacher since then, correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else want to share their career path?
I can. Okay, I've been after graduating and get a master. I started working for many international companies here in Brazil, and the last one was I worked for almost 7 years, and now I'm deciding, I'm really thinking to start my own business, or maybe I've got some invitation for another companies, and I'm evaluating the proposals, and I'm still thinking. Maybe I sometimes I think, oh, I wanna really start something, but I mean now really like interested in study languages, so maybe I can consider some proposal to where I can use my English and my Spanish as well, and of course my Portuguese.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm evaluating.
Cool. Excellent. All right. Anyone else want to share your career path? All right. And mine's a long one. I don't know. Do you guys want to hear my career path?
Sure.
Of course.
So, okay. I started, when I graduated university, I started actually working at a telephone company in sales. And I was there for 3 years and started to get bored, and I saw a notice in the newspaper saying, teach English in Korea, no experience required, just a bachelor's degree. So I inquired more and ended up going, and funny enough, I ended up at a school in Korea with people I graduated from university with, so I was quite surprised about that. And I stayed in Korea for a year and was going to go back to the States and go back into business. I came back to the States and I experienced reverse culture shock so badly that I went back to Korea. So during my second year in Korea, that is when I actually fell in love with teaching. The first year I didn't really really like the teaching. And so then I went on, after that second year in Korea, I went on to graduate school and got my degree in teaching English to speakers of other languages. And then I went to Finland for a 9-month contract. And as you guys know, many of you know, I stayed there for 11 years. So while I was in Finland, my sister got married, and when I got on the airplane to come back, my brother-in-law gave me a web camera. And so I started using the web camera to communicate with my family, and then I got this idea to maybe I could start studying online or teaching online. And that was about 2006, and I started researching it, and then I started my own little training company. It was called Communicate with Confidence Now, and I ran that company for 5 or 6 years. In the process, I got some teacher training, and then I became the teacher trainer for online teaching. So I trained language teachers how to teach online, basically, and teach them different tools. And then I came at that same time. I came back to the States, and I got sidetracked and got a job teaching, writing language tests. And then I got a job after that, after getting laid off, just like this career path says. Then I got a job with another company as a corporate trainer in doing something completely different. And after a year of that, I decided, I need to go back to what I love. So I decided last summer to go back into language teaching. And I was away from language teaching for about 2.5 years, I think, 2.5 or 3 years. And then I came back this last summer and have revived a company that I started, and in the process of growing that company and working for Verbling at the same time. So that's kind of my career path. And of course, I've had part-time jobs at banks and at hotels and a lot of different types of part-time jobs. So, but definitely laid off several times because of financial crisis. So, all right.
Let me let a question. What exactly changed from back into Korea? Between first year and the second. What
in Korea?
Change? Yeah, because you said, that's the second year there was my day.
What happened was in Korea, when I got there, they told us that they would train us, and they didn't. And I arrived in Korea on Sunday night, and I went to the institute. They picked us up and took us to the institute the next morning, and they threw me in a classroom. And I had gone from being a sales representative to teaching with no training. And they said, what you do is just introduce yourself, have everybody introduce themselves, and then the class will be over. And so the first year I really had no idea what I was doing. I was doing a lot of learning by doing and so forth. And so I wasn't sure I really wanted to continue this. But then the second year, I came back just because I was so homesick for Korea, and that's when I realized that I actually enjoyed it. And I think I had a class that year at if you guys know Samsung, I taught at a hospital right in the central area of Seoul. I taught there 3 days a week, and I had a class there that taught me for example, one of the things that one of the students said to me was, Holly, you have a lot of good questions, but we are Korean. We will never volunteer. So if you want us to speak, just ask each one of us. And so they actually taught me some things about teaching that made me realize, hey, I can do this. I like it. And then I went on to graduate school and learned more. But what is funny is even after graduate school, for the classes that, like this class is different because it's kind of a drop-in class, anybody can come. But for the classes that I meet students and we're going to meet once a week for 15 weeks or something, I still start the class the same way I did that very first day I taught. I introduce myself and I have them introduce themselves, so it's kind of funny in that respect. So I don't know really what happened, why all of a sudden I decided that I enjoyed teaching. I do know that teaching is more difficult than sales because you have to figure out what the students like, not just what they like, but how they can learn. What is the best way for them? Some students need a lot of structure, and they need structure, and they where other students really just want to be able to have fluency practice, for example. So, all right, let's go on. Hello, Yomna and Jose. Welcome. Excuse me. Let's put the expressions in bold next to their meanings below. Hello, Jose.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. So where are you from, Jose?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil, awesome. Okay, welcome.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yes. And Yomna, where are you from? Yomna? Okay, maybe you're still loading into the classroom. Okay, so let's put the expressions in bold next to their meaning below. So we have stop working.
Retire.
Okay, it's from the top word. Okay, to stop working would be to retire. No longer employed because the company has no money to work to offer. What would that be?
Laid off.
Laid off. So basically, to lay off. Does anybody know what the term is in British English?
To get booted.
No. Good try. This one is to.
I think I know. I don't know. I've heard somebody saying like to make you redundant.
Yes, you're right. To be made redundant. Be made redundant. However, what I've learned in British English, these words are used differently. In British English, to be made redundant is when it's permanent. Where to lay off is when it's temporary. So if you have a temporary layoff, maybe for the summertime, it's called to lay off. Otherwise, it's to be made redundant. Now, in American English, we use the word to lay off for both permanent and temporary. So, okay, what would a word be for hired? Oh, excuse me, I gave you the word.
No, employed, hired. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what is a word for working independently, not for an employer?
Self-employed.
Self-employed, yes. Which people start doing that after a while. Some people do. Self-employed. Okay, what is moved to a more senior position?
Promote.
Promoted.
Got promoted.
Promoted. And what is to leave your job with your choice?
Quit.
To quit is one word. Any other words?
Quit.
Any other words?
To hand your
Change.
notice in.
How about to resign?
Sorry.
To hand.
To hand in your notice?
No?
That's actually, to hand in your notice is really when you explain, you tell the company that you are quitting. So, okay, officially request work.
Apply.
To apply, yes. To apply. And what is had money problems?
Financial crisis.
Financial crisis. Now, some of your countries right now are going through that, correct? I think Italy and Spain.
Spain too. Yes.
Big time. Okay. And then how about Brazil? Are you guys going through any kind of financial crisis at all?
Actually, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Hopefully not. So, and Poland, Greg, are you guys going through any financial crisis?
We avoid the crisis, but or rather, I would say we delay it a little bit. But it's not like the crisis. It's really close because it is the last year of our government. So you will see a lot of protests, or a lot of organizations will stop protesting because this government. There's not really financial crisis right now, but there's a much more serious political crisis, and really serious political crisis, and people are passive. So.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like the U.S. I'm not going to say about it now because it's of course, but back in during the Clinton Bush administration, when the last few years of the Clinton administration, there was more of a political crisis. Because there were many pockets of Americans that did not trust his administration. And so there were a lot of groups that were hiding out in the mountains. And once Bush was elected, many of those groups stopped. And I'm sure they're now back up in the mountains, but but I don't know if any of you guys have heard of those groups. They're anti-government groups, and they try to be self-sufficient, and they don't trust the government, and they get all these arms and guns and things like that. So, if anybody's heard of that, but that was kind of interesting when Clinton stopped being president and Bush became. All of a sudden, these people were back in regular jobs and stuff like that. So let's study the following table. We receive a promotion, or you get or be promoted, which means you move up to a more senior position. To receive a demotion, to get or be demoted, you move down to a more junior position. Get the sack or get fired, that is you lose your job because you did something wrong. Receive a dismissal, also lose your job because you did something wrong. To be made redundant, also to be made redundant or be laid off. It's to lose your job, but you did nothing wrong. Now keep in mind, if somebody has been laid off, try not to use the word fired or sacked or dismissed because they do not mean the same thing. Although it is quite common that people do that. We go into retirement, retire or stop working. Then we hand in your resignation. Again, we leave your job. You resign. Which of the above expressions above are informal? Anybody know which expressions are informal?
To get sacked, to get fired, to actually laid off. I know. Actually, I'm not sure about the last one, but
no.
But,
yeah, you're right. Sacked and fired are informal. If and another one that is it's kind of between formal and informal is to get let go. And a lot of employees, like for example, if you need to an employer, if they need to fire somebody, will not say we are firing you or you are fired. They might.
Yeah. Do you really? Because I know that get sacked, it's more like a British thing. Do you use actually get sacked in the United States?
No, we do not.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
A lot Americans that are not familiar with the rest of the world probably would have never heard that phrase before. So, but to get let go is probably the most common. The employer will say to the employee, "I'm sorry to say, but we are letting you go." So they will probably not say you are fired, even though the Donald Trump show makes it sound like that's what we do. But okay, let's go on. So actually, let's talk about this a little bit more. So has anybody here okay, so David from Spain. How quickly in your organization do people get promoted?
It depends on the financial state of the company and the person.
Mm-hmm.
We have people that only need, for example, 1 year to get promoted, and another people will need 2, 4, 6, I don't know, many years.
Okay, so is that for them to mature and to grow a little bit before they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that one reason? Okay. All right. So Jose from Brazil. Have you ever seen anybody in your company get a demotion or receive a demotion? Jose? Okay, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah,
now.
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever seen anybody in your company ever receive a demotion?
Demotion, like lose your job?
Yeah,
lose one's job?
They move down. Instead of move up, they move down to a more junior position.
Actually, I've been working here in this company for about 14 years, and I had a lot of workmates. But my boss is a good person, and I never had a chance to get, for my luck, not me, but I couldn't see others being receive demotion.
Okay, you've never seen.
I have a couple. I have some. Yeah, I have some workmates that have been like fired.
But not never demoted.
Never.
Never demoted. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Julio.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Julio. As far as and Jose, there's a bit background noise. Could you mute, please? Thank you. Julio, you said that you've been laid off. In Mexico, when people are laid off, do they get, excuse me, unemployment benefits?
Well, according to the law, you must receive 3 months of salary as a compensation for a company that's laying you off. But here in Mexico, most of the company use several techniques to avoid that responsibility, and one of it is that when you get hired, the company makes you sign your resignation at that very moment, so that they can use it later as if you were actually if you were leaving the company instead of they firing you, and in that way they avoid paying you that benefit.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So is there any recourse that people can use to change that? So.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can sue the company, but the thing is that you have no way to prove it, and it will take you a long time, and probably you won't get any economical benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. So most people just walk away and just
Yeah.
go on. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So what's the situation, Adela, in Spain? If somebody gets laid off or made redundant, do they receive unemployment benefits?
Yes, but in my case, it's a public school. It's difficult to be laid because it's necessary. It's not only for financial problems. Need to have a very important brawn you to lay off to open an expedient be to a part of the teacher, but it's a different is a process different, I think, because I'm a civil servant.
Yeah, so it's a different situation with you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and is it the same for you, Jose? You are a civil servant as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and Greg, how about in Poland? If people are laid off, do they get any unemployment benefit?
Actually, if that was a full-time job, actually they can expect to receive unemployment benefits if they worked for 1 year or something like that. I didn't check lastly how much exactly do I need, but the time of receiving the unemployment benefits depends from the economical situation of part of the country, because my country is divided on many parts, and if situation is really bad, that is 18 months. If you are lucky and you are in a situation that is, the situation is quite cool, you will receive only for 6 months. So that they differentiate a little bit.
Okay.
That depends on situation, economic situation of place where you live.
Okay. So it depends on the economic situation. Okay. All right. And Yomna, can you speak? We know you can hear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
right.
How are you?
Awesome. Welcome. So
How
yeah,
are you?
I tried talking to you earlier, and maybe you didn't hear us at the time. So doing well. Question for you, Yomna. If people are laid off or made redundant in Egypt, what is the do people receive unemployment benefit? Do they receive money? Do you know?
Sorry. Yeah. To be to made redundant, this means that you lose your job without doing something wrong. Yeah.
Correct.
What you mean is you ask me about what's happening in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that sometimes, I think that there are some benefits that they should receive after being redundant. But sometimes some organizations which are not respectful or not good organizations, maybe don't care about giving them the rights or giving them the benefits of employment. So this is it's according to the system or the strongest or the strength of the system and the nature of the organization and the management of this organization. But some organizations are not respectful and don't respect these rights and these benefits of the employment.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Let's go on. Let's go on. So let's study the following situations and say what should happen in each case using the words and expressions from the table. So number 1, Paula has worked very well this year. As a result of her hard work, her company's profits have risen to a record level. So David, how would you reward Paula?
I think with a promotion.
Okay. So you would promote her. Okay. All right, and then number 2, John has missed another day at work without an acceptable reason. He has been warned about his behavior several times already. Greg, as his manager, what would you do?
Probably, if he was, probably fire him.
Okay, probably fire him as long as he's been warned an adequate amount of times.
Yes. Yeah, so. Because the last sentence mentioned about that he was warned several times, so it's probably the thing that no one will accept more.
Okay.
I hope that I don't sound too much cruel for anybody here.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think everybody's fine with that. I hope. So, okay, Jose from Spain.
Yes.
Sarah's company is experiencing serious difficulties. They have lost several key clients, and there is little work for her to do now. So what do you think should happen? Laid off. Okay, she should be made redundant or laid off. Okay? All right, Sergio. Vlad was recently promoted to the position of chief accountant. However, his bosses have not been satisfied with his performance. So what should happen here?
Brad is recently promoted to the position, but he's not efficient. I will give him promotion. I forgot the name.
Oh, okay. Go back up here.
Okay, demotion.
A demotion. Okay, yeah, that's what they say. I don't know. In the last job I was at, one of the things I learned was this this idea of calling where you manage up or you manage down. You manage if a person is not doing well, you coach them until they start to do well, or if they're not doing well, and then if they don't respond, then you try to encourage them to quit. So Jose from Brazil. Paul is nearly 70 years old. He's run his business for over 40 years, but he is now finding it difficult to focus on simple tasks. What do you think Paul should do? Jose? You are muted. Sorry, background noise. Okay, so Yomna, what do you think?
I think that he gets into retirement or he's retired.
He should retire. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like we are out of time now. So I do want to thank you all for your participation. And I hope to see you then in a later class. It was nice to meet you, both Yomna and Jose, and all the rest of you. It was great to see you again. So
bye bye.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Bye everyone. Bye.